Wow. Heck of a ball game. I think you got to begin by giving Baylor a ton of credit, man. They played their tail off. They had their team ready to play. Did a nice job. Especially offensively, kind of kept us off balance on defense early in the game and gave us some false keys and some stuff that, kind of slowed our defense down a little bit. Part of our strength on defense is our speed, and they made our guys, slow down a little bit and have to see things. And getting credit to them, had a heck of a game plan. The guys played hard. Our defense obviously got a stop at the end of the game when we needed to. Offense was able to string together a drive, and then we kicked our field goal that looked like chaos, but we practice it every Thursday exactly like that. And so, you got to give Griffin a ton of credit. I mean, he missed an extra point earlier in the game, and I know he felt terrible for that. Got a chance to redeem himself and, hit it right down the middle. I mean, it was a great kick. It was, like I said, it looked like Thursday practice, and I think that's why you practice those situations over and over and over again, so that when you get into them in a big game like this, then you can go out there and execute. And it's not the first time you've done it. So really proud of our team. We just got a lot of fight. Guys never give up. It's a tough week. We probably had a dozen kids that had the flu or RSV this week, had people in and out of practice. A lot of guys banged up. Knew it was going to be a tough one coming here, but they found a way, man. Just love this football team, really proud of them, and I think it says a lot about who they are for them to be able to do what they did today, so really proud of them.
Coach, what's that say about your offense to get that done late in the game without arguably two of your biggest playmakers with Quentin and Kendre on the sideline?
I think it says a lot about everybody, really. I mean, I think that's the mantra of this football team's kind of always been next man up, and we knew we've got a bunch of good players, but we have some young guys and maybe some guys that don't get as much credit as the others that are good football players too. And when they have their opportunities to make plays and step up, they've done it so far. And so, really, proud of those guys. Proud of Blair. Proud of Amari. Losing Kendre, who I think is one of the best backs in college football, and Quentin is one of the best wide receivers. And those guys, coming in and making plays. And I thought Savion really played well down the stretch. I thought Max obviously did what Max does. Just made everyone around him believe that we were going to get it done. And that's just what he does. I mean, I think all of us as coaches believed it. I think all of our players believed it. And again, that says a lot about who Max is and what he's all about.
The decision to run the ball on that third down going into the field goal, was that just your confidence in having practiced that?
Yeah. We knew we wanted to get the ball in the middle of the field. We felt like that if we could get the ball in the middle of the field, Griffin was going to be more comfortable doing it. And like I said, that's just something we practice, and we've done it so much that our guys feel pretty good about doing it that way. And so, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in that situation if you're not prepared, obviously. And but our guys were ready. We'd been talking about, we might even call it bazooka field goal. We might have to kick bazooka, and fortunately everybody else on the sideline was ready. We almost got caught on a punt return with 12 on the field. We were lucky to get a guy off the field. We had a little miscommunication on that, and we were fortunate they didn't snap the ball. It would have been a terrible way to lose the game. But to win a game like this, you got to catch a couple of breaks here and there. Felt like we had some things that went against us negatively. I was upset because I thought the long 60-yard pass play that they ran was a pick, and I was, upset about that. And we'll go back and look and see. But again, man, you got to give Baylor a ton of credit. Thought they had a great game plan. The kids played hard.
Sonny, at any point in that final drive, did you think about going for the touchdown, or was the whole goal 25?
Well, the problem was, it's like anything else. You want to try to stay ahead of the change the best that you can. You know what I mean? And so, we didn't want to get into long yardage situations, risk giving up a sack. And so that was the issue. Is at that point of the game, if you get a sack, it's pretty much, can be the end of the road. You know what I mean? Just because the time the receivers have to come back, it takes a long time. You lose the yardage. So I thought Garrett really managed the game well. Like I said, it looked probably looked a little bit chaotic, but I think it was less chaotic than it looked.
Could you talk about how big the interception was right before the half?
Yeah, big, huge. I mean, Bud made a heck of a play. I mean, that was, Baylor had all the momentum early on, and again, we were on our heels, and that's what we've done this year. I mean, somebody made a play, and Bud was the guy that made it then. It was a heck of an interception. I thought when the quarterback threw it, it was a touchdown. The receiver was running a corner out, he was open, and Bud really closed on the ball and made a heck of a play.
Coach, you talked a little bit about how Baylor was slowing your linebackers down with what they were doing. Could you talk specifically about what they were accomplishing?
Yeah, some false keys, pulling play side people and running the ball where pullers were. They had that little counter play that they ran a bunch where it looks like they run a lot of stretch, looks like stretch one way, and then they start the lineman that way, and your backside linebackers are really flowing, and they come back and run out the back end, and they probably ran that half a dozen times, had a lot of success with it. And so what that does is just everybody has to just slow down, and it's hard because now when they run the stretch, instead of getting your guys, over the top and in the play, those guys are having to stay backside. And so, Jeff Grimes is a good offensive coordinator. They do a good job. They mix in the boots. They keep you honest. And it's hard to get them stopped in the run game because just as you start to get people committed to the run, they'll run some kind of counter off of it or they'll boot you and split flow you and do a bunch of different things that's hard to defend. And we had some problems today with it, but again, when we had to, we made plays. I mean, that's been our mantra all year.
How was your confidence in that? John was about that with 90 seconds left in the game.
High. Yeah, I felt like that, especially when you need a field goal. I mean, that's the thing. There's such a difference between needing a field goal and a touchdown, and the way you can manage the game. It's just so different because if you need a field goal, then it gives you a little bit of opportunity to run the football and to do some things to keep the defense honest. And so it really changes the way you approach the play calling when you only need a field goal as opposed to a touchdown. And so, like I said, it keeps you out of, you can get the ball out of your hand more quickly at the quarterback position. Baylor's did a good job rushing the passer, and those guys were coming, at the end of the game, and you got to get it out quick. And so, we converted a couple of big third downs on that drive. Savion made a heck of a play to kind of get us going. Max's run obviously was really important as well, and it's a hell of a drive.
With Darius out today, Coach, Tay and Gunner looked like they stepped up pretty good. Can you talk about them?
They did. I mean, again, it's kind of the same thing. We had just a ton of confidence in those guys. So, I mean, you think about it. I mean, down the stretch, obviously you had Darius out, you had Kendra out, you had Quentin out. So, I mean, three of your bigger playmakers weren't even in the game at that point, and but we figured out a way to get it done.
Coach, go ahead.
Y'all had an off week, since week 3.
Yeah.
Kind of where do you see the team?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're tired. I mean, I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? I thought we were a little emotionally flat this morning, honestly. We played a lot of games like this, and this takes a lot out of you, especially consecutive road games. Going to Austin on Saturday night and, getting a bus ride back at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. I mean, it's, it makes for a long week. But, I mean, there's no excuse. Our job's to get them ready to play, and their job's to go play. And it wasn't always perfect today, but the end result happened the way we wanted it to, and we were fortunate. I think we all know that. But at the same time, it's like I told those guys. I mean, it's not an accident. If we're not a team that doesn't do things the right way, then we don't get ourselves in that position to be able to make that play. And so, really, again, love the way our defense handled that last drive. Getting them to punt. Offense obviously strung together a great drive, and then special teams made the game-winning kick. And so, I think everybody contributed. It wasn't our best performance on offense, defense, or special teams. As I said earlier, we missed an extra point, but we figured out a way to get it done.
Coach, last week you gave up 199 yards.
Yeah, gave up a lot more today.
Yeah, like 500.
Yeah.
Did you see this coming at all? Or just
Not really, no. I was a little surprised, honestly, but again, you got to give Baylor credit, and they had a hell of a game plan. I thought they did a good job. So much of defensive football is, kind of emotion and momentum, and they got off to a great start, got us on our heels a little bit. They strung together that opening drive, and we're right down the field, and it just seemed like we never got settled in much defensively. Obviously played better in the second half. I thought we made some adjustments and played better, and we're able to get some stops and and pull ahead. And then Baylor came roaring back, made a couple of big plays, and had a really long catch on a pick route that was a hell of a play by them. And anyway, it was what it was.